Why exactly is crypto crashing? It should have went up, right? With all the massive bull run predictions, with all the updates we were waiting for, crypto actually went ahead and went down. Now, this is what I'm wondering about. Why did it go down? Will it recover? And what's next for Bitcoin? And that's the big reason. There's explains the reason for the decline, gives a day for the decline to end. I think it's only gonna last a day. Agreed. The big question is, people were expecting a massive bull run, and instead they got the complete opposite. I don't think that's such a bad thing, to be honest. I was kind of expecting that for a lot of these whales to sell, say Bitcoin ETF being the biggest thing. But imagine over the long term, the massive potential of this crypto.
Explanations here from Scaramucci.
The real issue is most people expected Bitcoin to reach 60,000 in a day, and to reach 60,000 in a single day is not going to be an easy endeavor. It's actually going to be fairly complicated. And I feel like a lot of people are missing out in that factor. They're expecting huge price hikes, huge price rises, and instead they get, something that's really not making that big difference that people were hoping for.
Explaining the reason for the decline. And we also have some other things to kind of hit on in this video as it relates to Bitcoin overall, where we are, both positive and negative things right now here in the short term, and a little bit that has to do with the Bitcoin halving. So we've got a jam-packed Bitcoin video for you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we've got a lot to unpack here in this one. So with the downward wave that started after the approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs, a lot of people are speculating, is this a sell the news situation?
Again, they thought the whales sold everything, and the stats do show that. What we saw with a lot of these whales is 400 million, 500 million of these whales actually did end up selling a very large portion of their crypto. So what we saw in the end is like whales selling absolutely insane amounts, like 50%, which is to me incredible. Like they sold over the counter to from the institutions. They sold an extraordinary amount, a real extraordinary amount that nobody ever predicted to happen in that sense. So that's where I find the big problem right now with crypto is a lot of people were expecting crypto to rise, crypto to see a massive wave. And instead we got nothing of that. We saw big institutions, one of the big trustees, sell about 400, 500 million, dump it at the peak, and we saw like 10% drops in a day.
Bitcoin to eventually go down to 38,000. I thought it would happen in late 2023. It never did. So yes, we are getting a little bit of a sell the news event. There are some other fundamental things here as to why Bitcoin is where it is, but in terms of this pullback, this does not cause me to panic at all. In fact, today I went ahead and boosted my dollar cost average number.
So that's good. I feel like it's just a short dip. Over the 5 years, we're still going to be seeing plenty of crypto recovering. So to me, it's not that scary. Large amount of liquidation has also hit cryptocurrency market in the last hour. This was also kind of predicted with all the price runs, all the bull runs we saw. Just imagine the massive waves of crypto that most people didn't notice in that sense. Like this was an absolute cryptocurrency debacle. Like nobody expected this. And here we went ahead and saw this cryptocurrency price hike happening overnight. So for me, it's a pretty normal scenario, if you ask me. Like I'm not too worried about them. I didn't expect too much to happen, and I think that was the big problem for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. But again, tons of plenty other cryptos that a lot of people are still going to be holding, still going to be buying this through this bear market. So while the institutions might have sold, they won't stay in the crypto long term. They might have sold now and might be back at a later date. So now they have sold at a massive discount. So that's not the worst, if you ask me. Like we saw this before in the crypto history. We saw cryptos really being sold, cryptos being dumped. And to me, it doesn't seem like that much of a big of a problem. But to a lot of these small time traders, they lost a lot of money because they kept longing their positions and they were hoping that Bitcoin is going to go down up, instead it went down. So the people are still here. You might call it Thursday, but in the CT we call it Thursday. There's no free rides, and everything is still pretty bullish. I think the institutions are still going to be focusing on crypto right now. It's just not as big as people expected it to be for the short term. If you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Until next time, peace everyone. People have been asking for a Shiba Inu ETF, and honestly, for a Shiba Inu video, I have been talking about SHIB for some time. So if you want more content like this, we have been waiting for this for such a long time, guys. So if you want more content like this, you know what to do. Smash that like button, and I will keep you guys updated with more news. Seems like SHIB ETFs are huge at the moment.
The market still picking up, still increasing. And unfortunately, right now, as you're watching this video, it's increasing to the downside.
So this is the problem right now. Crypto is not doing as well as we thought, but that doesn't mean the future will be bad for it. Like, I am definitely really excited to see crypto go up in that sense. Like, it could definitely see some major improvements as people expected. Again, SHIB ETF is a long, long way ahead because the Shiba Inu devs need to push in more effort if we ever want to see, you know, like the bull runs from the ETF vibes. Like, if we want to see the big players come in, we're going to need big banks. We're going to need big money. So that's where I feel the big problem is going to be right now. But that being said, does seem like Shiba Inu ETF is still super early, still going strong, still out there. So definitely not giving up on it yet. But I feel like the Ethereum ETF, that's the next big thing that's going to happen. Also, if you guys haven't already, smash that like button.
If you want cryptocurrency exclusive exchanges where you could buy, sell, trade, short, leverage, all that good stuff, you get KuCoin and Binance down there. Now, KuCoin and Binance, they offer rewards for the more active traders, so the more you trade, the more you're going to earn. But please be aware, if you're holding on those exchanges, it is going to be considered a loan to those exchanges. So if you want to mitigate that risk and make it into similar issues, I never you.
So yeah, usually the biggest problem I find with ETFs is they're going to pick the safe bets, the ones that SEC is going to accept. Is the SEC obviously going to look into XRP ETF, which just had a huge SEC lawsuit? Will they accept Shiba Inu ETF, which is known to be a highly volatile SHIB coin that they have mega whales for holders? No, they're going to... It was hard to even get Bitcoin accepted at that point, and I think that's the big problem. Nobody, and I mean truly nobody, likes to pick the losing sides. And that's where I find the problem with crypto. Right now, the biggest problem is most people, they don't simply care enough about SHIB. They don't care about what happens, about what will happen. And they don't care enough about to list it as an ETF. I think that's the biggest problem.
And the amount of people who are willing to buy in and hold. Bitcoin clearly has the highest trading volume, doing hundreds.
Exactly. So Ethereum could be next just because it's really, really profitable. It's like a no-brainer for a lot of these cryptos to pick it out. This doesn't mean cryptos will be the biggest aspect to it. Like, there's going to probably be many more cryptos that are going to be different in that sense than the ETF we have now. So if you ask me, definitely gonna be seeing more of these opportunities for sure in the long-term sense, but in the short term, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen. Like right now, I find it kind of problematic.
Hundreds of billions of dollars a day. It's got the highest market cap at near $900 billion in total market cap, and therefore it is going to be very, very lucrative for these institutions to create these.
Exactly. So they're definitely going to be looking into the long-term play here with crypto. So that's the good news. Like, a lot of people are going to be staying in that, going to be looking for a Bitcoin ETF, but they're not going to be looking for a SHIB ETF anytime soon, in my opinion. That's where I find the big problem.
ETFs. Why? Because they charge a fee. The fee's roughly, depending on which one you're looking at, roughly 0.5%. And 0.5% fee that is going to be loaded up on tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, is going to be massive amounts of money that these institutions will make.
Again, yeah, this is for Bitcoin ETF, and even then they're prepared to lose like a big portion of their money right now. Like, they're sacrificing their profit now to earn later.
For them to do so if the volume is low, if assets under management are low, which is why I believe we could see a meme coin ETF category that
I think this will happen like when the SEC is like, okay, you can do this, but you gotta say it's highly risky. Like even to get a crypto ETF, it took such a long time in that sense that it really makes you wonder, like, where will the crypto go in that sense? Like, how far will it take to finally see that massive potential a lot of people have been waiting for?
includes Shiba Inu coin. So guys, I don't know what that time frame is going to look like, but I do know this. It might not be soon. Because Elizabeth Warren, as lovely as a lady as she is, yesterday she posted on X saying the SEC Gov is wrong on the law and wrong.
So yeah, there's obviously very high government that's against crypto and posting Bitcoin. And they're probably going to be for a while. Like there's going to be always people that are against Bitcoin. They're going to be against the potential utility of Bitcoin. And for a good reason, because the crypto is still very early. So they aren't too sure of what's going to happen next. They aren't too sure where they're going to like put in, what they're going to focus on. So that's where I see the problems in that crypto space, like where crypto has that massive cost problem. But that being said, I do think crypto right now is still fairly early, and a lot of people in crypto over long term can still be bullish on it.
And it's more urgent than ever that crypto follow basic anti-money laundering rules. Guys, I will tell you right now, if you want to seem as ignorant as possible when talking about cryptocurrency, talk about money laundering and the fact that it's used for money laundering. You guys know this, right?
This hasn't been used, like this has been the case old. It's like your grandma saying, yeah, crypto is cool, but it's used for money laundering. Like this is legit what we're seeing to this days. People still think money laundering is real thing in crypto. It has not been a real thing for such a long time in that sense. And I don't think it's gonna ever be like a serious scenario in that sense. Like people have been talking about this, like how big of a problem it is, how it's complicated. Absolutely not. And that's where I feel that the government really doesn't understand the early potential of crypto. They're still talking about things that were talked about maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And it really makes you wonder what the heck is going on. They're really not advanced on the cryptocurrency market, and it's keeping a lot of people frustrated in that case.
Stop causing so many problems. It's not going to be easy to see it.
Again, it's not going to be easy to see an Ethereum ETF, but it's going to be even less easier to see a Shiba Inu ETF. We needed 3 years to even get Shibarium, and I feel like that's the big problem. If you guys want to be kept up with more data, be sure to smash that like button, and I will keep you updated. Peace, everyone. Why are the institutions selling such a large portion of crypto? This is absolutely unbelievable. They literally sold almost all their crypto in that sense, but their Grayscale forced to sell Bitcoin made a video by my financial friend. So this got like 14K views, and I wanted to react to it. What he actually said, because a lot of people were expecting a major bull run. Instead, what we got is a major dump, a major crypto crash. Definitely bad news ahead, but in the long term, I'm still very bullish on crypto, and here's why.
Sold, can't push down the price, and what we're seeing really after that small amount, we're seeing some fear, right? Grand scheme of things, a couple hundred million, it's going to push down the markets, but
again, 400 million sold. This is definitely not a small number. It's definitely a very large amount that people were kind of not expecting to be sold. Like we were expecting tons of community people to come in, tons of people coming in new to crypto, talk about the markets, talk about everything that's going on. And here we are. A lot of people are really just here for the short term in that sense. Like we haven't seen any of that in that aspect, but I'm definitely very excited if we can get some major major bull runs going up ahead. Some major recoveries would be awesome in that sense. Like, I would definitely be excited for that. But if you guys are excited for more content like this, you know what to do. Smash that beautiful like button.
What's really causing it is that there were some liquidations after that. People are buying the dip.
So again, people basically made trades. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. And instead it did not go up. It went down. And that's where the real problem was a, problematic factor.
With leverage, people are going and leveraging long, which is something as a trader that you always have to be willing to cope with or to deal with, right? If there is some kind of big drop in the market, if someone goes and sells a couple $100 million worth of Bitcoin, it can easily liquidate you. Now, I will say, I did actually put on a long trying to catch that bottom. I did put on a long trying to catch that bottom. I'm not liquidated. I still have a lower liquidation price, but I went into it knowing that could happen. So that can continue to happen. We can continue to see liquidation.
So yeah, again, we're probably going to be seeing these market recoveries happening in that sense. I'm not too worried about that. So that's definitely the good news happening, that crypto hasn't really seen the bad downtrends just yet as we expected. And while it might get lower, these liquidations won't really stop the big financial institutions that have been really scaring a lot of crypto firms in that sense. Like, they've been, a lot of crypto people have been absolutely terrified in that sense on what's happening with the crypto news and everything that's going on. It was problematic, but I think for the next long term, a lot of institutions are going to be ahead, going to be safe, going to be strong in that sense. So there's really where crypto wins in that sense, in that aspect. So I'm still very hopeful to see more crypto recoveries inbound, to see more crypto people coming back to the big markets as we expected. But again, are you guys that bearish on it? I'm personally not. I think crypto right now can still see some major recovery happening. And that's something I will keep you guys updated. Even if the big institutions sell, that doesn't mean that the retail investors won't be coming in the next 4 or 5 years and still keep buying. So that's what I'm really bullish on. If the major institutions sell, that's fine. As long as the small whales or the basic new holders keep on buying a big amount. And that's what I'm really excited for. But again, guys, if you want to be kept up to more date with content like this, you know what to do. Smash that like button and I will keep you guys updated with more awesome content. Until next time, peace everyone.